Well, we just discovered that Yellowstone has at least one neighboring supervolcano, the Idaho BRUNEAU-JARBIDGE Caldera, 300 miles west of Yellowstone. It's where number 12 here, as you see, is right there, number 12. But there were other bigger eruptions, 11, 10 million years ago, as you can see here, which were the craters of the moon of Idaho, and as the hotspots made its way up to Yellowstone. Here we are, Google Earth, and here we are at the BRUNEAU-JARBIDGE Idaho volcano, which is a supervolcano. Oh, sorry. Let's pull out a little bit so you can see the area. Make it north, put it north. Okay. Pull it out a little so you can see a little bit more of the line. Long Valley Caldera is here. This is where we had the quake, the swarm yesterday. I didn't check today, but we'll check it. The Nevada quakes of 4.1 and the aftershocks. And this was a line along the line towards, these are old volcanoes. These were very active in the lines of the Yellowstone paths towards where Yellowstone is today. These were parts of the hotspot, and as we know, Long Valley Caldera is a supervolcano. Also, Nevada has a whole string of volcanoes right there, as we saw yesterday in yesterday's video. And then this is the JARBIDGE, Idaho JARBIDGE volcano, which is another supervolcano. And then you have craters of the moon over here. All these black things that you see from the air are volcanoes, cinder cones, volcanic fields. And these were also eruptions that took place. The BRUNEAU-JARBIDGE was 10 to 12 million years ago, and these were younger ones, all the way down to Yellowstone. This area with the present caldera and the lake, Yellowstone Lake over the caldera, over the magma chamber, is 2 million years ago, and the latest big eruption 600,000 years ago. And this is it, the BRUNEAU-JARBIDGE caldera, called the supervolcano, is located in present-day southwest Idaho. Volcano erupted during the Miocene between 10 and 12, this is it right here, 10 and 12 million years ago. And this is craters of the moon right there, and right here. So they seem to be a lot bigger than this one was, which is a supervolcano. They seem to be a lot bigger than Yellowstone 2 million year ago eruption. So I wouldn't be surprised if these were also supervolcanoes, the whole of Idaho. Okay, they were spreading, it spread a thick blanket of ash in the BRUNEAU-JARBIDGE event, which is right here, forming a caldera. Animals were suffocated and burned in pyroclastic flows within 100 miles of the event. From here to here is about not even 300 miles. From JARBIDGE caldera to Yellowstone is not even 300 miles. It's like 290 miles, 292 miles to be exact. So animals were suffocated, burned in pyroclastic flows within 100 miles of the event and died of slow suffocation and starvation much farther away, notably at ashfall fossil beds located 1,000 miles downward towards northeast Nebraska, where up to 2 meters, 6 feet of ash were deposited. At the time, the caldera was above the Yellowstone hotspot. And these other calderas, the younger ones, were above Yellowstone hotspot, Yellowstone, and today's Yellowstone hotspot. Its uniquely characteristic chemical composition and the distinctive size of the shape of crystals and glass shards, the volcano stood out among dozens of prominent ashfall horizons laid down in the Cretaceous, Paleogene, Neogene periods of central North America. The event responsible for the fall of volcanic ash was identified as BRUNEAU-JARBIDGE, about 1,000 miles west in Idaho. It's not 1,000 miles west. This is, as we saw, it's about 300 miles west. Let's go measure it. Okay, let's go and measure it. Okay. Okay, let's measure it. from here to Yellowstone. Not even, it's 290 miles. Okay, 290 miles. And towards Nebraska, that's Wyoming, where's Nebraska? Nebraska is about 800 something miles to the center of Nebraska, 800 miles. It's not even 1,000 miles. So, okay, it's very close to Yellowstone. And as we said before, the path along the hotspots, I wouldn't be surprised if these were also bigger supervolcanoes. And today these are parks. The Craters of the Moon is a park right there. Craters of the Moon National Monument, Blizzard Mountain, okay. But look at that beautiful, look at that lava flow. It's an amazing amount of lava flow. Okay, and then you have another one here. And you have another one here. And you can see the cinder cones there from the air. Look at that, amazing. Look at that. Right in the middle of the flat areas. Look at that. And one more to the upper area towards Yellowstone. Look at that. There we go again. Hell's half-acre lava field. Amazing, amazing. What is that? What is that little thing? Amazing, amazing. You know, you can find a lot of things by Google Earth. We told you a couple of videos back, a couple of years ago, they found an asteroid strike over southwest Egypt. And after that, they found another one in Iraq. And they believe that that's what caused the 5,000 to 3,000 years ago, caused the volcanic eruptions all along those. It wasn't just one asteroid strike, many asteroids. It looked like a group of them came, like somebody threw pebbles, you know, marbles, all at once onto the area of North Africa. And something just exploded in my kitchen. I don't know what that sound was. My goodness. I think it was the refrigerator trying to defrost. It's automatic. Yeah, and that caused the dramatic change in the climate in northern Africa all the way down through Saudi Arabia all the way to Iraq. And up to then, it was like an Amazon type of a tropical atmosphere with rain and greenery. And you could see that evident in the water erosion on the Sphinx, on the stones of the Sphinx. And then it was all of a sudden covered by sand all the way up to its neck. As you see in paintings from the time of Napoleon, who used to take his painters with him on all the campaigns that he went to. So it changed, it quickly changed the climate of the area, and people, of course, were suffering from drought and famine. We even had that recorded in the time of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Jacob and his sons. Remember, his sons had to go to from Israel to Egypt to buy grain because they had no food. And thank goodness Joseph the Righteous, who was sold there by his brothers and who became the right hand of the Pharaoh, was there to save them. That was by God's providence, obviously. And then they lived in the land of Goshen, in the Nile Valley, which was still fertile, thank goodness, and they prospered there greatly. But there was devastation and famine and drought. And they said that that's why the last queen of Egypt, Cleopatra, tried to make such a strong alliance with Rome, because her people were suffering from drought and famine and social unrest, and she was about to have her empire collapse around her because of all this global climate change that took place because of the asteroid strike and the volcanic ash and eruption and change of the weather and everything. Because, you know, the atmosphere was boiling hot. It changed everything. It evaporated water. Water and lakes were evaporated. Can you imagine? Okay, so that's just, we went off on a tangent, but I don't know who lives around here. You're lucky enough, if you live around here, you're lucky enough to go and visit these places. Tremendous geologic history here. So, okay, this is the path that the hotspots took as they progressed, as Yellowstone progressed to where it is today. So I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, since this was a supervolcano, I can't even see, where is the caldera of it? It's pretty big, they said. What is that? No, it's not that, it's right here. But, okay. Anyway, all right, we'll take their word for it. And then you have all these here as well. All these here on the line towards Yellowstone. Amazing. So Yellowstone has a lot of new other close by supervolcanoes. It's not just the Long Valley caldera. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.